so I'm not looking at those.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with someone looking for justice, here to recap episode 4 of the Challenge USA Season 2, Double Crossed and Sideswiped. How are you doing, Matthew?
I'm a little bit in mourning, but
I thought
I'm
you'd be
doing
wearing maybe a
okay.
veil or something.
Yeah, I wish I had one. I wasn't expecting to need it this soon. I was hoping I would get a few more weeks out of this. The double elimination did us no favors here, but I'm holding up okay, I'd say.
I mean, I do feel bad. I do, we know that Amanda's not necessarily the strongest physical competitor, but she, like, as much as she goes head to head with people and she can be kind of annoying maybe or a little bratty, I still kind of want her to be around, I feel like she needs to be there. And I know you definitely feel that way. So how do you think things are going to be different now that she's off the show?
I think it's going to be a little bit more kumbaya, which I'm not excited about. And we already started to get that today where blue and red kind of came together against green. And I mean, I could definitely see a scenario where the next few weeks are a little bit more straightforward because there isn't that chaotic presence. And maybe now, based on the preview, it seems like the vets that are left are going to try to separate Survivor and Big Brother. Good. I think that's a little bit easier now when you don't have Amanda there who's actively going after some of the other vets. So I wouldn't be shocked if we had a couple more straightforward weeks and then things start to pick up again in a couple more weeks. But I think that's the main difference. Like you said, I don't think Amanda was really a threat to win. And I mean, eventually she was going to go into an elimination and likely lose if it was physical. So I think maybe some of the chaos we've seen in the last few weeks will just get paused for a short term. But I'm still optimistic on the season, to be honest, even
100%. We have some friends joining us, of course. Okay for AK. I thought you said okay 47 or AK 47. Okay. Hello. Sophie realized that you must be in mourning, so there to support you.
You know what? Honestly, the thing that I was most upset about is not even that she went home. It's that was it just me or was she very under edited for her boot episode? I swear she didn't even have a confessional until towards the end of the episode.
I think that they were trying to make it a bit of a surprise. So with the fact that it was kind of, Wes was kept in the dark about this decision, I think they kind of wanted to keep the audience in the dark about this decision so that we wouldn't be like, oh, too much Amanda content, she must be the one going in. So I think that they were trying to save the surprise.
Yeah, this was one of those cases where I wish they didn't do that. And if we're gonna lose Amanda in episode 4, just give me
Amanda content.
Yeah, I mean, I think coming into the episode, she was the second or third most confessionals on the season. And yeah, she really seemed under edited here to the point where I didn't think she was gonna go in. Even when she had 9 votes, I was still a little bit surprised that she went in because she just was not getting a lot of airtime. It was primarily Desi's story here. And I mean, I didn't really think Desi was going to go home, especially when I found out it was against Amanda. But I thought it was a weird choice to not highlight Amanda here when she was such a focal point of the first 3 episodes.
100%. Totally. I get that and agree. High red is not a flavor. It's true. Sad Amanda's gone, but this is a really fun season so far. CBS better not F it up. Lols. I honestly, when I was watching this episode, I'm I was really, really in it in the elimination. And for most of the episode, I enjoyed it a lot. I think that so far, these 4 episodes have been delivering, in my opinion. The least successful, I would say, would be the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode kind of sucks. The 2, 3, and 4. I feel like the first episode was more when they do those intro episodes.
An intro ep, yeah.
Yeah, it honestly felt it was hey, meet the cast. And those are always super lame for
and the
relationships
between people, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but when you're someone like us who watches all of these shows, we don't need that. I understand it, actually. I'm sure CBS new challenge watchers probably appreciated that first step. But But for us who like watch all of these shows, so, like I don't watch Amazing Race, but they didn't really
There's
highlight
only
those
two
two
people, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, but after the first episode, I think it's been like a fire season for sure.
Aw, Matthew. Okay, well, this episode, like we called it, you know, Bananas was going to be jumping onto the blue team, telling Corey to enjoy his time on the red team. Also, though, the preview spoiled that anyways, because you saw the lineup and you see Banana in blue and Corey in red. So I was like, they just don't like to keep anything to themselves, huh?
Yeah, their previews are such a head scratcher, where they'll like not only like in those like mid-season trailers where you can piece together what's going to happen
or have a good idea.
Yeah,
who's at least going to last a long time.
Yeah, but then also like the episode previews, like why are you ending on a cliffhanger? And then in the preview, you're showing Corey wearing a red shirt. Like it makes just don't end with the cliffhanger then, and we're good.
Exactly. So maybe that was a last minute decision, and like the trailers were already cut. I don't know, but like it was quite silly. Alyssa L is annoyed to have Bananas on her team. Does she need to be that annoyed?
I don't know. I love Alyssa L. She's like delivering for me, but like I just thought it was funny where she was saying, "Oh, we like our team is like working so well. We have no egos." Like, girl, you have Tori and Fessy there already.
Seriously,
you got some egos.
100%. Are you
Banana's
delusional?
ego is certainly the biggest, but not. I wouldn't say that the team doesn't have other egos there.
Now, was Dusty crying? He put a note in Banana's bag, and it seemed like he had a tear forming in his eye. What's this love story?
I don't know, but super cringe as well. And it goes back to what I was saying last week. Like, I honestly believe the casting process must have included, like, hey, if you were on the challenge, who would you want to work with?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, again, I don't know much about Dusty, but like, was he a huge standout, amazing racer, like over 20 whatever seasons? Is he someone that really stood out?
I mean, he was in the COVID season, so it was a weird season in general. His partner, what was his name? I don't remember. Do you know the story of any of the racers?
Was he the one where his partner was in jail?
Correct. He was wrongly accused and went to jail for 10 years. So that was his partner. They were really, really solid for the first like 7 legs or like whatever legs. And then they left and then they came back and they ended up getting 3rd place, if I remember correctly. But he had like a couple of like breakdowns that were pretty funny. Like he kind of lost it a couple times, but he was a very strong competitor, I would say. And I did know from his exit press that he was a fan of the challenge.
Yeah, so it's like someone like him, and then obviously like Sebastian, and then there's those two. Then there's other people where like Alyssa S, like not to say like Alyssa S is someone that's like sucking up to the vets and is like a huge challenge fan, but she's like not like a free thinker. So I feel like they wanted people that would like
be moldable potentially.
Be moldable and like would not make it a steamroll for the CBS people, which I'm okay with, to be honest. I don't want it to be a steamroll either way, but it's just like 100%. Some very weird casting decisions, because those are 3 people that to me just like do not fit on the
Dusty, Alyssa S, and
Sebastian.
Like
those 3. Like from
Sebastian came out of nowhere. He was on like a decade ago or like 5 years ago.
Sebastian's the weirdest one, because there's just so many Survivor options that would have seemingly done it, that would be better fits and probably better competitors.
I mean, maybe, who knows? Like maybe he's been in the mix and we just never knew for a while. Or maybe he wanted to do it a long time ago. And then when they're sifting through all the applications, they're like, hey, Sebastian, like maybe he's still interested. Like, but maybe it was like years ago he was trying to get on MTV, maybe.
Yeah, it's possible.
Because he was kind of popular when he left his season.
He was, but like he wasn't more popular than Chris Noble or Michael Yerger, who were on the same season. And
he was on he's on Dom's season.
Yeah, and
Dom and Wendell.
Yeah,
really, I just forgot.
Like
he was 4th though, wasn't he?
fourth or fifth. He made the final episode. I know they
I think he was
wanted
up fourth.
Wendell, but I think Wendell was filming something else. But
Wendell and Michelle drama. That would have been fun.
like that would have been fun. But even just like, and that's just looking at Ghost Island alone. There's like literally 40 other seasons they could have gone off of, or like realistically like 20. But I don't know. Just like if we're looking at Ghost Island, like give me Chris Noble or Michael Yerger over Sebastian any
Maybe
day.
they were asked.
You think they were asked and said
Maybe.
no?
Like maybe it's just not what they're vibing with.
Chris Noble would be very fun on the challenge.
Definitely. So is this something to discuss now, Matthew?
We can discuss it now. It'll come up later. But I think like my number one rooting interest now is got to be Michaela.
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course. Yeah, she's so mouthy.
She's so fun, and like her mouth is gonna get her in trouble. Yeah. But like I think she can back it up in elimination.
Absolutely. So, she's just like, yeah, because I want to. I'm like,
yeah. Like she is like she took receipts when the vets took her out week one. Like she remembers that and like she wants payback. So I really love like her attitude here and just like her one-liners.
Yeah.
It's Amanda-esque without being like super confrontational. So I think right now Michaela's my number one, but there are a number of people that I'm really liking.
Definitely really liking. I was very much enjoying this episode. Have to say, great episode. Loved it. I loved it as well, Chris. So Dusty crying though. You didn't comment on him crying. Was he crying?
I think there was a tear. There was tears in the eyes. I did actually like. I'll give credit to Bananas here. I thought he was very funny in that confessional where he's reading the note out loud and he's like, "Are we in love?" So I did think Bananas was really funny.
He handled it well. He didn't like make him feel dumb about it or anything like that. I mean, like
he must be super happy knowing that like this guy will literally never say his name and like they met 4 days ago or whatever.
Well, and remember he slipped into his DMs, right? Like before the season, and he's like, "I don't know who you are, bro."
Yeah. So he's got him wrapped around his fingers, and it doesn't even seem like Bananas had to do much. Just meeting him was enough.
So I mean, I'd probably be like that if I was in the house with like Suri or something. You know what I mean? I'd just be like, yeah, whatever. I just want to, or Janelle. I just want to be here. So Johnny's celebrating, of course, coming into the house. So Josh is kind of pissed because he thinks that Lewis and or Desi voted for him. Have we confirmed that? I wish that we knew exactly for sure who voted for whom.
I believe it was Lewis and Michaela that actually voted for Josh.
But like, why do you think that they're keeping that from the audience? Like, it's fine to keep from the house because it does keep a little bit of drama and like people like, was it you? And then, you know, it's going to create some friction, but we can know. Why can't we know?
I guess they just don't want us to know. Like they want to keep the suspense of like how many balls each person has when we get.
Fine, but like, what about when you see the balls, you can see like a cut to like the person putting the ball in. You know what I mean, or something. Like I just wouldn't be mind the reveal also be the who for us, anyways.
Yeah, I wonder if it's on like the challenge wiki.
I'll see if I can look while we're talking. So Josh is throwing a bit of a fit, causing some chaos. I did see this scene yesterday and I was going to send it to you guys. And I was like, well, it's clearly going to be in the episode. I don't think I need to share it with you guys to watch. But that entire scene was cut online already. And I was like, why are they sharing this or leaking this scene? You know, it was like, obviously he was putting on a bit of a performance and like, you know, doing a Josh showboat routine, whatever. But like, why are they leaking it?
Yeah, they've done that a few times. I wonder if it's because it's like it's on 2 nights a week that they're like posting it just as a reminder, like, hey, we're on again, because it's shorter notice. To me, that would make sense. But I actually think they do this for the regular challenge too. Like they'll post like a minute clip beforehand.
It's a long ass clip that like showed the entire thing. Like, I don't know.
I would prefer if they did like a deleted scene, like something that wouldn't be on the episode.
Yeah,
I think
there's
that
a lot that we don't see.
Mm-hmm.
Or like sometimes they have it in the trailer that we never actually see on the episode. So, they want to keep her for future seasons. I bet to keep the distrust going from season to season. Interesting. That's a good thought.
I don't know. I don't think that's it. Just because I feel like at the end of the day, like it's pretty easy to find out, like whether it's after the season or not. Like people are messaging each other, so I don't think like the votes will actually be a secret to the contestants for very long. Just by like process of elimination too, like you could probably figure it out.
So Willie didn't like the scene when Josh felt he was doing too much. How did you feel about it? Was he doing too much? Causing chaos, calling out Desi and Lewis?
I do think maybe he was doing a little too much there.
I kind of was laughing though.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Like I didn't mind it too much. There was in the deliberation, there was some like things Josh was doing that I really liked, and some things I really didn't.
Oh, wait, deliberation's a completely different scenario. But this situation, like I thought he was doing a bit too much. I found it funny though that all the vets that knows Josh were just kind of snickering and just laughing about the fact that he's putting on this like performance. And it did seem like all like the CBS kids were just like kind of nervous and didn't know what to do. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. He was doing too much, but you know, he's making his paycheck, I guess.
One thing that's really like pissed me off, not about this episode, just about like the talk of like people on podcasts, like contestants on podcasts and like on Twitter and stuff, is like the vets like keep saying, they keep complaining like, oh, we were set up to fail because there was only 6 of us against 18. It's like don't like gaslight the audience. Like we're all well aware that Josh and Fessy
half relationships.
Yeah,
like they're still your people.
Josh, Fessy, Michelle have played way more with you 6 than any of the Survivor Big Brother people. Like Josh is clearly like in your corner. We know you're working with Lewis and Sebastian. Like we've heard both of them say we'll never say their names, and they've proven that. So
Lewis,
like, sorry, Dusty, not Lewis. So we've heard them say that. Plus, like the CBS and MTV Mix people are just like, they're never going to like actively go after them. So I don't like how they're like pretending that it's like fully 6 against 18 when it's not. In reality, it's not. It's like more even than they're making it out to be.
Yeah, it's a lot closer, but I guess there's only 2 per team essentially, and so. Yes, some of them do have, you know, Fessy and Josh, but like it doesn't necessarily help with the numbers. They are outnumbered, like that is fact, but not as badly. They're not as hard done as they're trying to make it seem.
Yeah, sure. I don't think they're like set up to fail. If anything, I think like with the format of the season, like it's actually giving them a solid chance where like, yeah, you might have to go into an elimination or 2, but you're not like completely like shit out of luck.
True. And like, there's not that many scary CBS people.
No, exactly. Like what I was saying, like people like Alyssa S, like nobody is scared of her. No, like Alyssa L, like I love her. Like she's good strategically, but like they're not scared of her in an elimination. Tiff, like you're not scared of her in an elimination.
So they need to just either skate to the end or you're going to take them out likely. So
you just like, you're trying to avoid going against Desi and Michaela essentially.
Basically. And maybe Michelle.
Yeah, but I kind of like consider Michelle more MTV than CBS.
Fair. Yeah. Did you see Fessy? He was like lying on like I think it was like the workout thing. There was a cat. I was like, where the frick is this cat from? He had like a cat like laying beside him. And I was like, what?
It's a stray cat.
I don't know if it was a stray cat because they were indoors, but it was a house cat. I don't know. I just was like, especially with a cat. Yes. Desi does a confessional cam. So when we saw Bananas last week go down there, when I thought he was going to do a Skype interview or whatever, or a Skype call. So I guess they have a confessional cam that they don't use that often. Like this was the first time we actually see this confessional cam being used. I mean, I prefer the confessional cam probably over confessionals, just for the fact that like the confessionals are going to be led by the producers and the confessional cam is going to be a little bit more raw feelings. But Desi doesn't necessarily believe in herself. Everybody else believes in her more than she does. I had no idea that she's kind of grappling with, self-doubt, just because like I think that she's probably the most beautiful woman on the challenge. She's probably the most athletic person on the challenge. She's the one coming in here that I think everybody wants to win for the fact how she was done by Enzo in the last season that she played. When she was on Survivor, I wanted her to do better, but circumstances didn't allow it to happen for her. Like, it's just wild to me to know that she grapples with self-doubt, because I feel like she has it all almost,
Yeah. And to be honest, this is like one of my favorite moments, like that we've seen in the last like few seasons on the show, just because it was like so real and raw, and it showed like exactly what you said. Like, it showed someone who, like, to the naked eye, like, appears to be like Superwoman. Like, she is physically fit, like she is gorgeous. No, like, everyone likes her. Like, no fans, no contestants have anything bad to say about her. She's strategic. Like, she is the full package. But like, when you play these games, like, I mean, I wouldn't know, but like, I can only imagine how like draining it is mentally.
I mean, it's definitely
and, like, you're talking to your family for 30 minutes a week or whatever.
I think it's 10.
Yeah, so you get a call or two a week, and you're all you're doing is thinking about, like, you're having all these fears. And I mean, if you're just sitting alone in a house or with like strangers, it can be uncomfortable. So even like the strongest people like Desi, like, you're gonna break down. I'm glad that they showed that. And the scene after, where she was talking with or before,
Tiffany
where she was talking with Chanel and Tiffany.
It was after,
yeah. Chanel said, like, I've like been crying multiple times. Like, it seems like everyone is. And I mean, we don't need to see that like 10 times an episode, but like, it is nice to be reminded, like, these games are very stressful and it gets to everyone.
100%. Well, like, I've never cried in a game, but like, well, maybe I have, but I don't, that I can remember right now. But I've played a few of these long format games, short format games in real life, and they're not for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was for like $500. And like, they do get stressful. Like, if you want to do well and you want to win, like, it actually is a lot of stress on you to keep focus and keep in the game and keeping up with your relationships and keeping up with, like, it is really challenging. So I can understand the pressure to put on yourself, especially on top of that being on a TV show that is going to show everything that you're going through. I can understand why the pressure is really high in that sense.
Yeah, 100%. I remember last year during Big Brother Canada, like, my friend Kevin, like our friend Kevin, who, like, I've always known, like, I've known him for 10 plus years, and he was always like the like funny, like happy, like cheerful guy. And he was that on the show as well, like very strategic, very funny. And then like towards the end, when like it was like getting to crunch time, like there were moments where he was like breaking down and crying, both like on the episode and on the live feeds, when like him and his and Helena were in danger. And I just, like, that's when it really like hit me, like, damn, like, this is like the fact that I know someone that's going through this and I can like feel their pain. Now, like, I like sympathize with everyone that does these shows, because it's not for the faint of heart. It's very difficult. And I do, like, even like someone like Josh, who's like often very emotional.
So Prince here is saying that we clown bananas for expressing similar doubts. I don't remember.
No, I think what Prince is referring to is like when the editors were like poking fun at bananas when he was like complaining about that.
They were playing the violin for him, and then
I thought that was a very funny scene, and like I thought editing did a good job where like he was just complaining. Like, if we had a scene where Bananas was like alone in a confessional,
well,
like,
he did go to the confessional after. What did he say? He was basically saying, that he feels that he's alone in this game or something like that. But like how they built up that whole segment wasn't for us to be.
No, it wasn't emotional.
It wasn't emotional. It was more so like they were wanting to show that he was kind of throwing a bit of a tantrum. They were playing the violin.
I would love to see a scene from Bananas where he is alone in a confessional, and if he was being emotional and saying like, hey, I know like I'm a 7-time champ. Like I've done the show 20 seasons, but like I still doubt myself sometimes too. And I'm getting older. Like I don't know if I can do it anymore, but like I want to prove it to myself and my family. I would love to see that from Bananas. And if we did, like all the respect to him. I think last week it was just him complaining like at the rest of the house. Like, oh, why am I going in? Like, what are you guys doing? That I think was just like him being a sourpuss. I don't think Desi was being a sourpuss. I think it was just hitting her hard.
I think that they were trying to show that he's showing bravado, but then in confessional he was vulnerable. I don't know. Like I remember the confessional. I remember thinking the confessional was weird, and I thought it was going to be a Skype call. I don't know. I'm more team Bananas than most people are. So I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe we did. I don't really remember. But that whole segment was about Bananas like being upset that the rookies got one up on him and then Corey defected. And then he went to the confessionals. And then he did seem like he was being a bit of a sourpuss for the fact that he was like, I've done 20 of these seasons, man, and this is the only time that I feel really alone, or something like that.
Yeah, and I
like Bananas more than most people.
Another thing I will say,
or I dislike him less. Maybe that's better to say.
And another thing I will say is apologies to everyone, but like sometimes I will be extremely biased to people that I like more. So if I was insensitive towards something Bananas was saying, I apologize. I'm not a huge Bananas fan, but like I said, like if he were to have an emotional moment like that, I would appreciate it. And like I'll give credit when he does something I like, which I already did tonight. I said I liked his confessional with the letter and about Dusty. So yeah, if Bananas does something great, I mean, I will certainly acknowledge it.
I think I prefer Bananas over Devin and Nelson. Devin sometimes is funny though.
I mean, Devin on Twitter.
Oh my god, he's on fire. Sorry,
oh my god.
I don't know if I can even replay that because like we might get canceled for that.
Yeah.
But Prince also saying I agree the kitchen scene was super funny. I guess we interpreted the confessional differently. I just thought he was just moaning a bit when it didn't seem heartfelt, that he didn't believe in himself, and that like I just see that he was. Oh yeah, he said I felt like it was like my first season.
Yeah, he said he felt like a rookie. 40, like a 41-year-old rookie, he said, or something.
It wasn't the same to me. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm coming from a female perspective, that what Desi was going through, like as somebody who it seems like has it all with Bananas, 100%. I do feel that it seemed that he was having sour grapes over the fact that he didn't have control in that particular moment. And that's what this confessional was about to me. It was about different things to me. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was about what he was capable of doing, you know?
Yeah.
But that's also with the editors and how they kind of constructed the scene, and like with the music and everything, that's how they wanted us to feel about him in that moment, I think.
Yeah, I think they were like poking fun at Bananas, like the editors, and like the fact that he was being, again, like a bit of a sourpuss. Mm-hmm. Also, like, I think if Bananas were to have lost the elimination last week, like the edit might have been different, where it might have been more of like an emotional side. But the fact that he won and like he's going to be around for a little bit longer, I mean, could be around for a lot longer. They were able to like have fun with it. So I think they wanted us to like make fun of him a little.
Mm-hmm. Willie prefers Banana over Casey. I think we all do. Do you? I don't know.
Well, I definitely prefer Nelson over Bananas, to go back to the other. I'm not sure if that was Willie or someone else.
Not I.
I would go Nelson. Of those four, you know what? I'd go Nelson, Casey, Bananas, Devin.
Oh no, I'd go Bananas, Devin, Nelson, Casey. We're different people.
I don't like Casey. Things. I just think, like, to me, Casey's just like a nothing burger. Like, I don't dislike her because she's just there, kind of. The only problem with Casey is like she's very capable of winning, and like if you're gonna be a winner and provide nothing, that's like the worst. Because I mean, Casey's never going home early. Yeah. Whereas Devin, I could see like a scenario where Nelson, Bananas, or Devin go home early because they're like targeted more often.
100%. So we get to the daily challenge called Sideswiped. Basically, they're going to be going 2x2 between two semi trucks. I think that's what they are.
Mhm.
And they're going to be having 8 discs each, and they're going from one side to the other side, placing their discs on their spot on the other wall, or on the other truck wall. How did you feel about this as a daily? We've seen similar things like to this before, but
Yeah,
not this exact thing.
to me, it was just like moving a little too fast. Like, I don't know. Like, I wish it could have been like something more where it was like time based, like per team, and there was not like the blocking and whatnot. Like, I don't know. Like, they would have had to change it up a little bit. But to me, there was just
It
like
might be
too
kind
much
of
going on.
boring to see like just no defense.
I was kind of bored by this one, to be honest.
But like if there was no defense, wouldn't that be even more boring?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not a fan of this kind of daily at all.
Mm.
I just felt like there was too much going on, and I kept losing track of the score too. And I'm just like, okay, like let me get to the final round. Like, let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I was watching the scores, and like it was basically because it was 3 teams is why it was a little bit more annoying to keep track of, because like it would be like blue and red, and then it would be red and green, and then it would be blue and green, and then you're just like, who has what?
I think this would have been a fine daily if it was 2 teams.
Yeah.
The fact that it was 3, and then at the end you could kind of just dictate who was going to win. Like, I don't like those. Like, I don't like when you can decide a winner and you're not even like, you're not the winner. Like, I don't like how red got to decide who won when they performed the worst. So I think, yeah, if this was 2 teams, I think it would have been a much stronger daily.
So speaking of how the outcome came, so basically blue didn't end up doing too well, even though Bananas defected and went on the blue team. They lost. So do you think Banana is the rotten banana of the bunch?
I don't think so. I think blue will be just fine, especially after tonight's episode. I think
seriously,
I think they're set up quite well.
Quite stacked. I feel like it's my draft with the boys. I feel like that's like almost my entire team is now blue, and I'm like, yes, I need to beat them because I'm out. I think Drew's won 4. I think I've won 2, and I think Chris has won 3. So I'm like, I can't lose again. I need to win one. I need to catch up. So basically, like you said, it kind of came down to blue going against green in the final round, and if they got all 16, they would still just be tied with red. So Chris Underwood from Survivor decides to suggest that, hey, if we play defense, we can protect we can oppose green and prevent them from winning, so that red will win, and then red will likely keep us safe. What do you think about this plan? You hated it?
I mean, I thought it was a solid plan. I'm honestly surprised like the MTV people didn't come up with it as well. But for Chris, it like did not make sense, and it completely backfired on him, where like if green won, green was going to send in Bananas and Tori. But the fact that blue let blue let red win resulted in Chris being the one that was going into an elimination, or he got all the votes.
Who do you think? So you think that if green won, they would put down
Bananas and Tori,
and then you 100%. Think that who do you think they would have voted for to go in?
Well, I think Bananas would not have asked to go against Chris. I feel like Bananas would have asked to go against Sebastian or Dusty,
but they wouldn't have given them who he wanted. So.
Well, it wouldn't be the green team that gets to pick, right? It would be blue and red. And I feel like they could have
rallied the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, they got 9 votes on Chris. So I feel like they could have got like even say 7 votes, 7 votes on Sebastian or Dusty or Luis. So I don't know. Like for Chris, it was risky. I mean, obviously, like he won the elimination, but yeah. I don't know if I loved it for Chris, but like I love the idea of doing something like this and like finding the loophole. I'm not a fan of it as like a viewer. Like I'd rather see it play out normally, but strategically pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I hate and love at the same time when they find a sneaky little, like how Bananas in that one season, he saw the lights going off over at the side so you could tell the order or something. I can't remember which season it was. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
No.
They were all looking at like the order of, I think, the flashes or something. And then they had to go into like a smoke thing. And I can't remember. But anyways, he figured out a loophole in order for him to be able to do well. Yeah, they had to come back and they had to put like the tires or something or the rings in like the correct order of the flashes, but he could see it from the side. Anyways, some loophole. And it allowed him to win or help people to win. And I like it in the sense if I was playing and I was someone I'm working with, I'm like, yes, you found a way to win. But I agree. As a viewer, it's like, I do want to see people fight to the end. I don't want to see people throwing challenges. I don't want to see people like, I want to see people fight.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I think they just have to like better plan out the dailies where it's like, everyone knows eventually this game is going to turn into either individual or maybe it splits into 2 teams. So like I would have much rather see something like this when there's not 3 teams because then you just can't do that. So yeah, I don't like the loopholes either. And also like same as like the same way I don't like in eliminations when like you can kind of like the house can gang up on one person.
Oh, gang up, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like the part of the challenge, and it's honestly my least favorite part of the challenge is like the actual physical challenges. But that being said, like these things are like very extravagant sometimes, and like we should see how it plays out without the loopholes.
Like normal, naturally.
Yeah. It's worse than eliminations. Like this is like whatever.
I definitely agree. I don't enjoy people helping the person that they want down in the sand. I agree.
Yeah.
So at the end, because green didn't win, red gets their first win now. Desi looks defeated. And I was like, Desi, you don't need to look for defeated. I know they might be coming for you, but like, I just felt bad. I'm like, don't let this take you out. Like you have to overcome. So I was rooting for her to like get the kick in their butt to like overcome this self-doubt. But she said that she has to step up her social. That's something that was a little bit surprising. Were they all just kind of hiding behind their big like numbers and not realizing that like maybe they need to work outside of their alliance? Like, why do you think that she said that she needed to step up her social?
Yeah, I guess like maybe she was like distant. She was a little bit more like distant from the MTV people, and with like, I mean, the blue team is like pretty MTV heavy, and like they do have like some power. So I think like maybe like she was just too into like her group, and like wasn't factoring the fact that like her group might not always have the same amount of power. So yeah, I think she was probably referencing more like, hey, I should probably get to know these MTV people a little.
So I have to say, what the F? Corey was carrying Johnny after. So Corey was supposed to be working with Johnny Bananas before the season. Then last episode, he was like, I want to be at the bottom of the rookies. I'm at the bottom of the vets anyway, so I want to try over here. Like, sorry, like you guys never put me first, whatever. Then Bananas takes Corey's place on Team Blue. Tori goes over to Team Red. Bananas' team, Blue, Chris's idea, throws the challenge so Red can win. And then Corey is now carrying Bananas in celebration.
I mean, he did help him win, so I think it was more just like it was more of like a joke.
Celebratory.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna like actually be like tightly aligned. I feel like the feud will resurface.
Okay, we'll see. So, in the kind of all the groups chatting, Chantele is pushing for Wes to be the vote. Michelle wants Amanda. Thinks Desi is going to be the one that's going to be going in. So Josh tells Wes that they are gunning for him and they are thinking about using the stalemate threat. So what do you think about the stalemate as a threat?
I mean, I think it depends on who you are. Like I definitely like don't think someone like Tiffany should be willing to go to a stalemate and risk
Absolutely
going
not.
in against Desi.
It's like going to rocks, like,
or
no
against
thanks.
whoever, really. But yeah, I think it really depends on like position. Honestly, probably a little early for most people to be seriously considering it. And for the most part, I think you should probably never consider it.
Mhm.
But there are certain situations where it makes sense.
Unless like you are a girl and it's for a guy's day. I'd be like, well, let's go into a stalemate then.
Yeah, definitely. This one was tough because it was the double
elimination.
But I don't know, like Josh, the fact that Josh was like very willing to go to a stalemate was quite surprising to me, considering he is 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 in eliminations, and
Yeah.
the one that he won was not very impressive.
Felix says here, to be fair, Josh shouldn't want a stalemate either. He sucks at eliminations. Yeah, I think it was just bravado. Well, we're gonna get into it right now. So Josh actually wants Desi and Lewis as the nomination. So at the nominations, I don't know, it was the ceremony, deliberation. Someone asked, is Blue off the table? And then they're kind of agreed that Blue is for the most part off the table because Blue definitely gave them that win. They were not going to necessarily win if Blue actually tried. So Blue's off the table. Amanda, of course, is pitching, or Michelle's pitching Amanda, of course. And Chanel was given some energy here. She was taking a lot of control in that deliberation. She was holding her ground here. Dusty was like, I'm not going to be strong-armed by anybody. I did like that he was like, he wasn't going to kind of foil. But I was pretty impressed that Chanel was like standing her ground.
She was the most impressive to me by far in that deliberation. And I mean, the least impressive to me, I have to say, was without a doubt Michelle. I don't know why. Like, I understand why Tiffany caved and ultimately sent Desi in by putting the stray vote on Cassidy. Because like I said, for Tiffany, like you can't go into an elimination. Like Tiffany's only chance of winning is avoiding eliminations and then having like a pretty easy final, I think. But like Tiffany getting to a final, like she can't go into elimination. And for Michelle, though, like once Desi was decided, like they had this plan to get Wes in, and Dusty put a stray vote on Monty. All Michelle had to do was put her vote on Wes, and she completely buckled and went against the plan. And
well, now it was apparently because Lewis had voted for Michelle in the past.
That's such bullshit, though. There's no way Michelle is not voting that way because of a stray vote 2 weeks before.
She doesn't want the smoke from Wes.
She doesn't want to go against the vets. And that was my fear the whole time. And that's why I'm saying, like, people like Michelle, like, yeah, she's willing to go at Amanda, but is Michelle really going to actively go at the other vets? Like that I'm cautious of. And we saw it today, like they had the shot at Wes, and after the deliberation, the other girls were like, well, what the fuck? Like we could have put Wes in. And Michelle's reasoning was kind of weak. I was not very impressed with her just like completely buckling there.
She did. I thought Josh was quite strong in this deliberation.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, he got his way, and
he got his way for everyone, and how he was just like making it fast. Like, okay, who you got? What? Okay, you want to go to stalemate? I'm ready to go in. I'm ready to go. I'm not changing my vote. And he's just like, he really, really, I was impressed by Josh. I can't believe I'm saying it. I was impressed by Josh in this deliberation.
I was mostly impressed. The one thing that I thought was kind of funny, and like, Josh, like you're contradicting yourself like crazy, is he's looking at all the women saying like, do you want to go against Desi? Do you want to go against Desi? Josh, do you want to go against Wes? Like, Wes is going to smoke you in a final.
But then Chantele even also came back. It's like, don't you want to run a final against Amanda?
Exactly.
Wait. So that doesn't actually make sense. No, run a final with Desi. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, if you're partners with someone, would you rather be with Desi or Amanda? Like, the thing is, like, Josh is not going against Desi. Like, Josh is going against the men. And if anything, he'd be working with Desi. So I thought Chanel was great there. I do think Josh was pretty impressive. at the end of the day, like Josh went into it with a plan and like he got his way. So like I can't hate on him for that. I just thought it was funny how he was using like, do you want to go against Desi, where like the people Josh is protecting being mainly Bananas, Wes, and Fessel in the game, like are all gonna smoke him in anything.
Even Corey would probably beat him in the final.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like all four of those. But I don't know if Josh is necessarily like working tightly with Corey. I guess we'll see in the coming weeks.
Fair, but I'm just saying they're on the same team now. But like he's also, wouldn't be able to win against Corey either.
No, I don't. Well, honestly, I don't think Josh is going to win against like Tyler or Chris even.
So who threw out Cassidy's name first?
I think
I'll throw out a name. Cassidy. Was that Josh?
No, I think it was Tiffany, wasn't it?
I didn't write down who wrote who, but it ended up being 3 votes on Desi, 2 on Amanda, 1 on Cass. Oh, it was Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany said Cassidy, and then Josh was like, "Yeah, I'm good with Cassidy," but then it ended up being like no one else would agree with it. The Survivor girls said no.
Well, yeah, no, it was good, like as Cassidy being the vote, but all the votes went on Desi, and then the 2 were on Amanda were Chanel and Michelle, and then Tiffany had the last vote here. She doesn't want to go to a stalemate 3-3 because all their balls will go into the hopper.
Is that what you think it would be? Like
that's what they said. I don't know if that's because they know this or that's what they're expecting.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't want that to be an option or something worse because it was a girl that they didn't decide on. So maybe only the girls would be vulnerable. So she's like, nah, sorry, it's not me. It's going to be Desi. Yeah. And pretty much the same thing happened with Lewis. So Lewis got 3, Wes only got 2. And like you said, if Michelle wasn't like, oh my gosh, like he did vote for me. Sorry, I'm going to put Lewis in. And then Monty got 1 vote here. I wrote down, I'm like, am I impressed by Josh? That's what I wrote. I was. So yes, because Lewis said her name before, this is what Michelle is explaining to her alliance. See, this is like how Michelle doesn't stand with her, like she just always backpedals. And that's why I find her frustrating as a player, is that like, she'll make these moves and then she's always like, she's never standing behind them. Just always like, oh, but like, it was because of this. And it was like, you didn't want to go against the vets. Like, I get it. She doesn't want to blow up her spot. She wants to keep her alliance intact. But like, this is part of what bothers me about her as a player, is that she's just kind of wishy-washy.
I'm just so curious with Michelle. Like, what is her long-term plan here? Like,
I think more seasons.
Yeah, I know for sure. But like, Michelle is going to come back for season 39. Like, spoiler alert, she's on the cast for 39. And she's going to be working with all these new people, like the Olivias and Narises. And then she comes back for 40. Like, who is she going to be working with? And like, she's always going to be that person that's like the 5th or 6th girl in every alliance, where it's like, sure, like that might help you make it halfway through the season, but how are you going to get over the top when you're the least loyal to every group that you're in? Like, you're in all these groups loosely, but you're the least established member of every group. So she's always going to be someone that gets sacrificed.
Absolutely. Or nobody's going to like necessarily trust her as a number, because she's like, oh, well, who are you working with? And who did you promise to vote that you're more loyal to than me in this round? And like,
yeah. Like, I'm so curious if like, so let's say season 40, you have like Amber B is there, you have Tori's there, you have Michaela's there. Who is Michelle going to be trying to work with? Or is she just going to try to like be that rat floater until she gets clipped?
Yeah. And everybody gets mad at her.
Exactly.
She's like, oh, I didn't mean to. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, yeah. So Desi is upset that she wasn't protected, especially for the fact that she just had opened her heart to Chanel and Tiffany, and she was hoping that they would be able to protect them here while they're in power for the first time. They couldn't. The Green Team has a meeting, and Wes tells them that they do have a defense play. The defense play that they did in the daily was actually Chris's idea. So, I mean, of course, Wes is giving that information up so that they would potentially go for Chris, to be mad at Chris for taking the win out of their hands. So I think that was to protect himself. And so Chris is going to be their male vote, but we learned that in advance, Desi was doing some talking and saying that she wants to be going against. Why did I write down Cassidy? No, that's who Wes. Sorry, I wanted to go
No,
in.
so
That's what they're pretending. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Desi said like, yeah, I want to go against Cassidy
to
like
Wes.
To Wes, like in a group, but really everyone else besides Wes knew that they were going to go for Amanda. So
right, no, and we see some flashback scenes of Desi going around being like, I want Amanda, I want Amanda, I want Amanda. But in the green tea meeting, she tells Wes that she wants Cassidy.
Yeah, during that meeting, I was like, yes, please, like go against Cassidy. That's what I want too. Just like Desi and Cassidy. Cassidy, I like you, you're fine, but like Desi, you can send her home. And
I knew it wasn't going to happen because we hadn't seen the hot tub scene. So I'm like, my first thought before the flashbacks came, I'm like, oh my God, is Cassidy taking out Desi? Whoa.
Yeah, that's
because we haven't seen the flashback scene, right? So I was like, the hot tub scene.
Yeah.
So, anyways, then we saw the flashback. I'm like, oh, okay, that I wrote out. I'm like, okay, just scribble that out. Mm-hmm. So Michaela wants Wes's ball in there, so she's gonna throw a hinky vote here. So yeah, we get down to, we see all the voting, whatever. They don't show us who's really doing what other than Michaela giving Wes a vote. We get down to the elimination. It's going to be some type of head-to-head. And I was like, oh my God, because we see like just like one flat disc in the middle of the arena. You know, it's going to be a pole wrestle type thing, which aren't my favorite, to be honest. I don't care for them that much, but MTV loves them. So I was like, poor Lewis, that's not going to be good. And also poor Amanda, because Desi's pretty strong and Amanda's pretty small, scrappy, but I knew that Desi was going to win here. And so we do see the balls, though, that are put down. So Tyler gets 3 balls, Sebastian gets 1, Wes 2, Monty 2, Bananas 1, and Chris 6. I would like to know who did the other votes, but we know the 6 are most likely the Secret Garden, right? Mm-hmm. And Wes. Or like Team Green and Wes or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it was like all of Team Green, right?
Right. And then Michaela got 4 votes. Cassidy got 2. Amanda got 9 votes. That's pretty badass, though, of like the vets trying to put in Michaela against Desi. That's the monster of an elimination.
Yeah, I mean, for them, that's the best call. Just like knock one of those 2 out, so you like have a massive force like you don't have to deal with later. But no, we didn't get that.
Did you guys see in the elimination that Chris is packing that cake? What does that mean? Like, is it a nice ass? Is that? I see the peach there. We're talking about, so Deepaz here is talking about villains. Are you excited for villains? I think we talked about this briefly
very
last
excited.
Week. Yeah, I want to figure out a way to cover it in a different, like a unique way. Maybe you can think of something more fun to cover the show. I don't know the format, so
yeah, I have no idea what the format is either.
So, but I would like to cover it, but I don't know if I want to do a recap. I want to do something else, I think. Like maybe like who's the most villainous or something, and like have like villain points or something. So something. So out of the hopper comes Chris's ball. I mean, of course, he had 9. Sorry, Amanda got 9 in there, which I thought was kind of funny. And Cassie got 2. Sorry. So Chris and Desi are going to be going in. Chris and Lewis are going to go against each other, and Amanda and Desi are going to be going against each other in Evil Eye pole wrestle.
I gotta say though, like another thing I love about Amanda is like when she saw that she had 9 votes against her, she's
laughing.
She's like laughing and like she's not like she said like, oh fuck you guys, but like it's in a joking way. Like I think she actually appreciates the game of the challenge where it's like, yeah, you guys got me and like I'm probably gonna go home, but she also knows like at the end of the day, like I'm coming back whenever I want to be back. So whether it's season 40 or 45, whenever Amanda tells MTV that she wants to play, like she's gonna be there. So I think like people like that like are able to kind of take things in stride a little bit more.
Do we think Amanda will get the call for season 40?
100%.
I mean, unless it's an all winners thing.
Yeah, unless it's like a format.
Has she done a finalist? Has she been a finalist? I don't think so.
She's never made a final. But
So
if it's just like a normal season or like Legends, like yeah, she'll 100% get the call.
yeah, Amanda, like she knows she's playing a role with her like snarky comments and clapbacks. And you could see the real her is when she's like, oh guys, oh man, guys, like pole wrestle, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's gonna be hard for me to win. And like TJ even just like cackling over the fact that she's going in.
I think TJ loves Amanda too.
Yeah, of course she does. Like she creates some great moments. So we never saw the moment. Maybe they cut it, but I thought there was a moment when Amanda was yelling at Tiffany, but maybe it was just spliced so that it looked that way. So we see the elimination with the guys going first. Chris versus Lewis. I feel like Lewis may have recorded his confessionals after he lost because he seemed deflated. And so I was just like, well, I assumed that Chris was going to win just because he seems a lot sturdier, we'll say, than Lewis is. But Lewis is a firefighter, so he did say that he felt that he could maybe take him on, but he was not able to. It was only one round, and winner takes all, and Chris took that round.
I feel like Chris is like someone who's like going to be very like sneaky good at a lot of different things. Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously, like if he goes into like a pure, like if he was in this against like Fessy, he probably, I mean, he's going to lose. Or like a hollow brawl against Fessy, like he's going to lose. But
maybe, but he played like football as well. So
yeah, but I think Fessy's just like so much heavier. But like, I feel like Chris is like someone who's like smart. Like if he gets in a puzzle, if he gets in like an endurance thing, like, I don't know, like I could see him beating like most of these guys in like random eliminations. And I didn't know like how good he would be with the physical stuff, but yeah, like, I mean, he said, I played football. Like he obviously like pretty easily won this physical elimination. So if he has that in his bag of tricks too, like I think he is someone to look out for, especially like if he is in with the Survivor girls as well.
So with Chris winning, he gets 10 points. And then we see Desi against Amanda, and Amanda held on to that ring. Like, she didn't make it easy for Desi. And I do like that as well, because like everybody was thinking that Amanda's going to be such a layup, including Desi, and she made her work for that win. So I was really proud of Amanda. It just like she has like probably 40 pounds on Amanda and height as well. And so I just think that it was going to be pretty challenging for Amanda to win that one unless she really tires her out and just is able to like sneaky, just like, you know, do some real quick move. But I thought she held her own.
Yeah. I mean, she did like about as well as like she could have physically done. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone saw the elimination and thought she had any chance whatsoever. So the fact that Desi didn't win in the first 15 seconds was pretty impressive for Amanda.
Absolutely. And like I also like them putting the fear a little bit in the vets, just being like, oh, just because we throw them down doesn't mean that they're going to be that easy to be taken out. So I just like at least seeing the vets showing up and like showing like what a little bit of experience, how it can get you, you know, and that like don't just think it's going to be an easy win, because like what happens if it was, say, someone like Alyssa L that's like, oh yeah, let me go down against Amanda. I don't think she would have been able to win against Amanda.
No, I think Amanda would have won like this challenge for sure.
One, you know what I mean? So like I just like that she's at least put a little bit of fear in like the small girl category, you know?
Yeah.
His song on the challenge, I'm dead. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I could see it happening, like USA 3. Why not?
I mean, I'll watch it for sure. So who's our MVP for this episode?
Well,
of course, Desi wins and takes out Amanda, so she gets 10 points as well.
Well, before MVP, just want to let's talk about the switching of the teams for Desi. So Desi switches to blue.
Yep.
Blue takes out Alyssa S, who's by far the weakest person there. I mean, Alyssa L is not like super strong, but she's better, strategic, and she's like better with endurance. I mean, I feel like Alyssa S is just like, I think would you say she's a lapdog? What'd you say?
She's kind of like a yes person. Like she's just like going along with the flow. I don't think she's putting forth any action. I think she's just agreeing in a number.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, Alyssa S holds the record on Big Brother for most competitions without a win.
She didn't win any, yeah.
Yeah, she never won, and she played in the most of people that like of people that played as many as she did. She's the only person to never win one. So she's not great with the competitions, and now she's off that team. So Blue is stacked.
Blue is stacked, and they're like, "Come to us, Desi. Come to us." Like, absolutely. Like, gather, make a monster team, and just take out everybody else. So
my theory,
and that's how the vets are going to be able to do better, is because they're going to create this monster team.
Yeah, my theory
is basically what I said was going to happen.
In the next couple weeks. I think Wes is going to volunteer to go into an elimination. I'm like more convinced. I said it last
100%.
week too.
I think it'll be next week.
Yeah, I think Wes is just going to be like, you know what? Like, send me in. I'll either go home to my wife and my pregnant wife, and it's fine, and I'll come back in a year or two, or I'm going to switch and go to Blue as well, and I'll take Sebastian's place on Blue.
Yeah, no, I think he'll defect and go to Blue and take Sebastian's place if he wins. 100%. Like, he wants off of green. They're not winning. They just lost their best player, a female player anyways, in Desi, which he said at the end of the episode. Like, and they got Alyssa. Like, sorry, Alyssa. I'm sure you're lovely, but like, you versus Desi, like, I'm taking Desi.
Yeah,
sure.
How many more episodes do you think they'll do 3 teams for?
2.
Do you think they'll do more double eliminations?
Unless it's another double elimination, then maybe the next one will be the last one.
Yeah,
because there's only 6 episodes left. 2 episodes are probably going to be dedicated to the final.
Is it confirmed? Only 10
not
episodes?
confirmed. Not confirmed.
Okay. Yeah, because then I would imagine they're going to do more double eliminations.
It might be. I could be confirmed, because I remember when I was saying to you, was it? No, someone else. I feel like it ends the end of September. September 21st, I think, is the last episode. I think.
And we only have 1 more week of double episodes?
Correct.
Okay. I could see, you know what I think it'll be? I think it'll be 2 more episodes where it's 3 teams, and then maybe there's like a double elimination in one of those 2. And then once it goes to once a week, that's going to be the start of like a new format.
I can see that for sure. And do you think the new format will still be guy-girl eliminations? Yeah, it'd have to.
Yeah, I think there'd be way too many people left, so they couldn't do single, unless like the final is going to be like 12 people in it, which I would certainly hope not.
Well, it could be like a purge final.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they could all. Yeah, I guess they could do a purge at some points, like even before the final, they could just do a daily purge.
Yeah, and then we'll lose like Alyssa S, Tiffany, like, gone. So yeah, you got some points this episode with Chris coming back. I got some points with Desi. Red team got us all some points. You lost Amanda, so you've lost a couple people. So you lost Amanda and Johnny from your team so far. You still have Fessy, Corey, Chanel, Chris, Alyssa, and Dusty.
Which Alyssa? Bad Alyssa or good Alyssa?
Oh, I think you have.
I think I have bad Alyssa.
I think you have bad Alyssa.
Yeah, I think that was the last pick of the draft, and I think.
Yeah, you're thinking of bad Alyssa. Because Michelle took the other Alyssa a little bit earlier, and then I still have Desi, Tyler, Cassidy, Bananas, Tori, Tiffin. Just lost Lewis this episode. So you know what though? We've only lost our last picks.
Well, Alyssa was my last pick. I still got
her. Shoot, sorry.
So my last pick's doing well. She made it to episode 5.
Your first pick is who we lost, unfortunately.
I lost my first pick, yes.
Sorry to hear that.
So if Blue wins next week, which like they're gonna be favored in most things, like who do you think they put into elimination as like the guy girl?
Blue. Okay, I have to see who's on Blue again. Blue wins. I think they put in. They're still going to protect Dusty, I think. So I think they're going to just.
and they'll
It's gonna
protect
be
Josh.
Monty. Yeah, Monty and Tyler, maybe Monty or Tyler. I think there's their time soon.
Monty or Tyler for the guys, and then for the girls, Michaela,
like Wes is probably pissed with her. Or maybe this is when Wes decides he wants to go down against a Tyler.
I don't think he's going to want to go against Tyler, though.
Who else would he go against?
I feel like he would want to go against... Ooh, yeah, he's not going to want to go against Monty.
No, Dusty?
I mean, he'd probably want to go against Dusty or Sebastian.
Oh, Sebastian. I forgot about Sebastian.
But Sebastian's on blue, so the blue would have to lose. Like, red would have to win again, which I really don't see happening. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I would imagine blue is going to want to get Monty or Tyler out. But at the same time, like, Alyssa, Elle, and Desi are not going to want... They're going to want to go for, like, a Wes or a Josh or Corey. So it'll be interesting. That's why I like this season. It's just, like, a lot of people with conflicting paths to the end, which makes it fun.
It's been really fun. I enjoyed this episode. I was like, this is fun today. This is fun. I was really in it with Amanda versus Desi. Like, I was like on the edge of my seat. Not that I really thought that Amanda could win, but like it was quite intense, I found.
What I think this season needs, though, to happen very soon is we need an elimination where it's people from different sides. Like, so far, all the eliminations really have been like people on the same side against each other, or like people that are like rogue, like Amanda is kind of rogue. But I think like what would be really interesting would be to see like a Tori against Michaela, or Bananas against Monty.
Anybody? Yeah.
Like that, I think is going to be like what would really take the season over the top, to like see these people go head to head instead of just like
it's going to happen eventually.
Back a yo-yo of power. Yeah, eventually it will have to happen. But I think that'll be really fun.
So who's your MVP noms?
Ooh, for me, I'm torn. I think Josh had a good episode. I think Chanel had a good episode, and I think Desi had a good episode. The thing about Chris is like he won the elimination. He came up with a plan, but the plan did fuck him over.
He can't take credit for that plan because it was used against him. So
yeah,
Chris is out of the running there.
I think I will go. Like, I love the moment with Des. And Desi did have that plan to blindside West too, which I thought was really fun.
That's good. Chanel didn't get her way. So I'm going to take Chanel off the board, even though I really appreciated her really trying to reason with her team, like not standing down to Josh. I thought it was great, but she did not get what she wanted ultimately in that situation. So I'm going to take her out of the running for that.
I think that's fair. I think that the big thing about Chanel for me is like, it made me realize like she is someone that like belongs here. Like, yeah, she probably didn't have the best episode this week, but she proved like that she is someone that is like not going to just fold. And I like that. And I think it's promising moving forward for this season and potentially future seasons.
Should we do this? Should we give Josh most entertaining and Desi most valuable? No. Okay. So we're trying. No, he doesn't want it. He gave a face. No MEP today. He wasn't entertaining enough for
like, I honestly think, if anything, I would honestly potentially reverse that and say Josh is the MVP. And like, I thought Desi was pretty entertaining with like the plan that she came up with, the blindside West and her getting more raw there. I don't know. I'm fine to like.
She had an episode arc too, as well. Like this was her episode, her story. She got to move over to Blue. They were excited to have her.
Yeah, she set up.
I think it was her episode, so
I'm happy to like give it to both of them too. If like we want to like do a guy girl one for this week, I think Josh is pretty impressive.
So you want Josh as the MVP and Desi as MEP because the episode was about her.
Yeah. Yeah, either or, like whatever. It's same points. So I'm happy to like give credit to both of them. I think they both had pretty strong episodes here. And you know what? The thing about Josh, I also think Josh is pretty set up. I at this point I'd be almost surprised if Josh didn't make a final. Now, I don't think he has any chance of winning a final, but I don't think anyone is targeting him. Obviously, like with the format, like you could catch a stray vote or two and wind up getting in, and like Josh might go home. But I think like
at this point, though, there's less people that he just has a few people that he might be able to win against. He might be able to win against Sebastian. He does have size on Dusty, so that's a possibility. And you know, he against these rookies, he might have seen a game before or know the strategy behind something. So he might be able to even win against a Monty if it's not like a head-to-head something, you know, maybe.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I think if you took 100, if you took 100 of the eliminations that the challenge has done over the last 40 seasons, I think both Monty and Dusty, for that matter, beat Josh in like 90 of them. So I would give them like a 90% chance. Like I have no idea what Dusty is capable of, but I'm going to give him a 90% chance against Josh.
Ouch. But he did eat at this round table.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. And again, I think Josh is very well set up to make the finals. Another thing is like, how the hell has Fessel not gotten a single vote through 4 episodes?
A single vote or a single confessional? Is he on the show? So Fernando's saying, I'm telling you guys, they're giving Fessy the Devin edit and Ride or Dies.
But no, Devin was way more like visible in the edit.
Yeah, he was doing all that stuff with Michelle. Like he was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. He was weaseling. Yeah. I mean, unless are you implying that Fessy's doing some work that they're not showing us?
I think Fessy I don't know if Fessy had a confessional this week, but in the first 3 episodes, he had 4 total confessionals. And then if he had 0, that's like 4. He's averaging a confessional per episode. He's got 0 votes against him. And it's like, this guy is like a massive dude. And why are they not trying to get him in? I don't get it. He is someone I want out early.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know, Lauren. Is he on the show? We don't know. We know that people fight over him, but like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's boring. I'm like annoyed though, because I have him on my other draft and like we count confessionals. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, Fessy, give me some damn confessional points. So annoying.
Yeah, I actually think Fessel is playing more of the Casey role than Devin. Like honestly, I think like Casey in a relationship, like she has no other storyline really, unless like she's going into elimination. Oh no, you're not being rude, Joseph. It's like
facts are facts.
Like they call Casey furniture, and like Fessy is basically that, where it's like, yeah, he's gonna go far because he's good at things, but he is so boring. And if he's not hooking up, like why are you here?
That's what I said. But then did you see how, I think I sent it to you, how on the new podcast with Tiffany, Big D, and Hannah Chada, and she was just talking about how Fessy is just the kindest, like so great human being. Like she just went on and on and on about how amazing Fessy is. Maybe he wins. Like, I don't know. I'm like, does she need to do this?
I'm sure he is a nice guy, like in real life.
He's not horrible, but like, it's freaking boring.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I could see him winning, but like,
I can see him winning. That's why I picked him on my other
if
job.
if you're like the editors of a show, like, don't you want like the winners to be like a little bit more visible,
like, a little bit more exciting?
And if the season's only like 10 or 12 episodes, like we're almost halfway through already. So like, I would think the winner would be a little bit more visible.
But Casey wasn't really. So
that's true. Yeah. So it could be the case. I kind of hope not, even though I did draft him first round. Like, that's definitely a main reason that he has a girlfriend. So if he didn't, he'd be hooking up with someone, and it would be a little bit of
have some messy Fessy stuff.
Yeah.
0 votes though. It's just wild. But I guess he's not considered MTV. I don't know.
The thing is, like, when you think about Fessy, like nobody thinks about Big Brother. Like, he is not a Big Brother player. He is a challenge player fully.
Slash, like, I do think of Who Flipped.
Yeah. Zach has been pretty like
Have you
active
looked at
lately.
his podcast yet? Have you?
I listened to I saw on YouTube. I listened to a little bit of it. He was very high on Fessy and Corey as well. He said that they were the two best athletes in the challenge universe. Which I don't know what he means by athletes. Like I'm sure they're certainly athletic. But
Corey's fast. He can run, and Fessy's a tank.
Yeah. So
sure.
Yeah, Zach seems to really want to come back to the challenge.
Seriously, it's like years later he decides to do a podcast. Is he trying to follow in Banana's footsteps?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his motives are. I don't know. Do you think we see Zach back for season 40?
Yeah, he's a winner. If it's an all winners,
do you think they'll invite him back, or he's like too controversial?
I thought that he was originally on this cast.
I think there was like rumors of it, but I don't know if that was like fully accurate.
It's brand new. It's like in the last few days he started it. I'll post it if I remember in the description box, or I'll tweet it out.
I'm very excited for the Amanda exit press. I will say that.
Yes.
I think that's really super fun.
Yeah, she's gonna be. Is it dropped yet? You're always like, as soon as we got offline, you're like, it's dropped.
Yeah, let me look to see if Bananas. I doubt she'll go on Bananas podcast, but like she'll do the standard exit press with like Parade and RHAP and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm pretty sure this year Challenge Mania. Sorry, is that the name? Challenge Mania. Yeah. They're doing exit interviews as well.
With Steve Jagger, that one with Derek.
Yeah, Scott and Derek.
Scott, sorry.
And Amanda hates them. So I wonder if she'll even do the exit press with them, or if she's like obligated to.
She might be obligated to,
because that'll be fun.
I did try. I don't know if I told you. I did try to get exit press, but they said they had too many people this season. I tried for us, Matthew. He did. Hopefully, I'll just
doing exit interviews.
He's doing it for the challenge. I can't remember which podcast he's doing it for.
Not on his channel.
It's not on his channel specifically, but he's been clipping it and obviously posting it on his stuff. But he's doing it for another podcast.
Yeah, I saw a clip on his YouTube page. Like, oh, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, and like he asked like good questions. Like some people just don't really know the show, and they just don't. Like Drew knows everything about the challenge, so like it's just nice to see people that know. They can just ask a little bit deeper questions than like the typical like who do you think is in the best position to win? Like, you know, he'll be a little bit deeper because he'll know some of the other relationships.
Yeah.
Things
well, Amanda is going to be very fun tomorrow, so I can't wait to wake up.
I can't wait to see Brian Cohen talk to Amanda. That's also fun.
Yeah.
So yes, Deepez, they have 2 babies right now, and she is pregnant again. So 3rd baby on the way.
So I guess Jenna will not be back for season 40.
No, I don't think she'll be back ever. Paulie did an interview with Glad. It popped up in my recommendation. Yes, he did.
I'm waiting for Paulie to respond to Devin on Twitter. I want to see like if Paulie is going to engage in that, but so far, no response.
He can't now. Like he has to pick a lane, right? Like he said, like he came with all this vim preseason, being like, I want to get on this. Like it's not entertaining anymore. Like you need to be here to bring the heat. Then he comes on the show, brings no heat. He also shares a new side of himself, and that he's grown, and he's not that same person that he was before. So at this point, he can't really engage with it, right?
Yeah, I would think not, or like just take the high road and be like, congrats on your win, like well deserved, like just something like sarcastic like that. I do have to say, definitely not a fan of Devin, but one of the funniest tweets I've seen, I'm gonna read it right now real quick. So Devin tweeted all that stuff at Paulie, and then Letarian, like from All Stars, responded to the tweet and says, "You're a champ, so you're allowed to talk your shit. I've never done a challenge with either of you, so don't really know the history, but geez, some of y'all cut deep. FYI, never speak to me like this. I'm a different kind of man." And Devin responds to that saying, "I literally don't know who you are." I saw that. I was like laughing. I was like, oh, you know what, Devin, good job. That was a funny tweet.
I find Devin to be funny, to be honest, most of the time.
I used to.
Sometimes he's annoying, but like
I think he's funny on social media, but on the show, the last couple seasons.
Fair. So Joseph, yes, not this week, but we're doing it next week. So it's going to be a few more episodes in our before we do our next ranking. So it'll be after next week's batch of episodes. But that's pretty much it, unless you have anything else to say about this episode, Matthew.
No, that's it. I'll listen to all the podcasts and
So fun. It's going to be a fun week, at least.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really fun week. And honestly, I hope Amanda does do Bananas podcast. I just very much doubt she will. I can certainly say she will not do the official challenge podcast.
Or maybe she's contracted to, which is
no. I don't. She never did it before. She said she would never do it. But she did do Bananas before.
I think she could also do Bananas because Bananas was helping her in that elimination.
Yeah, I'd say like 25% she does Bananas, but I'd say 0.0% she does the official one with Tori.
And then what about Challenge Mania?
0%.
But like, what if she gets money for each of these podcasts?
She might do like a exit interview with them, but she won't do like the full length, like hour and a half one with.
Gotcha.
But Bananas, I'd say maybe she'll do like a full length one.
Yeah. Amanda's also funny on Twitter. It's true.
Yeah, she is.
It's true. It's true. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Matthew, for being here. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us as we cover this season and this episode. Please, everybody, subscribe to the channel. Help this channel grow like this episode. And what do we want to know? What do we want to carry on in the comments for this week?
Let's go with that. If blue is to win, like who do you think will be the next?
It's honestly, every time you say blue and red and people are saying blue and red in the chat, I think that we're talking about Big Brother. And I'm like, wait, what? Blue did what? And then I'm like, oh, wait, sorry, wrong show. Like I get so confused because also sometimes people like talk Big Brother in here. And so, anyways,
the thing that I need for Big Brother, we need to get America out of the game because I'm so confused anytime someone says America. I think it's an America vote.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my God, we get to vote.
Yeah. It's like, I need America. Like, she seems nice. Like, she's sweet and all, but she's just got to go because it's way too confusing.
So confusing. But okay, so what do we want to talk about in the comments?
Yeah, comments. If the team blue, Desi's new home, if they're to win, who do you think will be voted into elimination next for the guys and girls?
So wait, say that again.
Who will be if blue wins? Who do they vote into elimination?
All right. Yes, we want you guys to sound off in the comments. We'll continue this conversation there. What do we think is going to happen if Team Blue wins again? Now that they're super stacked, how do you think the elimination is going to go? Who do you think that they're going to throw down there? And who do you think Team Red and Green are going to put the most balls in to go up against? I want to know the answer to this. So,
and another question I'd like to know the answer to is: would you like to see Heisem on season 3 of the Challenge? Because I personally would. I'm here for Team Heisem. I'm Team Heisem here.
I would like to see Heisem on the show. It would be wild. It would be entertaining for sure. Yeah. Well, that's it, everybody. We'll see you maybe Thursday. Oh, I'm going to be working. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Talk to you guys soon. Ciao, everybody. Thanks. Bye.